Okay. Per usual, last time I spent the whole time talking about how I'm excited to play this opening, and then not getting that opening. I have a nice 2550 rating to blow and bullet, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe we can make moves towards 2600, that'd be cool. I'm going to play check Benoni, as is my want. I really like it for bullet just because I can make the moves pretty quickly. If f5, I always have knight e5, so I don't think they have a break. Maybe I should play bishop g4 at some point, because that's usually a good bishop to trade. Yeah, I'm going to try to trade it for the knight, because the knight has no squares right now. Ooh, I can play b5. It's always nice. My knight's pretty good on e5. Don't mind this. They did get f4 for their knight, but maybe bc4 in the near future. Let's try to keep a knight on e5. I really like the knight there. Maybe queen g5 next. Ooh, fancy. I don't get it. I'll take. Do I want knight f6 to control d5? Probably. That'll be safe. Up a piece. They have no clear attack. If I have time for bishop e7, b takes c4, and like queen b6 or queen a5, then I would be very happy. Okay. I gotta go fast. I assume they're just gonna let me take. I don't actually need to be in front of that. Oops. Ah, so slow. Alright. Went way too slow there. I'd like to play a different opponent. I always get annoyed when I'm clocked in a winning position and usually try to switch up my opponents. Ah, that was a shame. Really slowed down at the end there. Alright. Still hoping to get a classical Sicilian sometime this video. I think queen b3, hit at b7 now that it's undefended. It's a good move. Now, the queen's supposed to be like good on c2. Ah, I allowed knight b4. What a mistake. I was going to say, this is supposed to be like a line that's like, a pleasant slight plus for white. I can never prove it. Never have, never will. Let's make sure they don't have the two bishops. Shouldn't have pre-moved that, because they might have played knight takes d7. Though I guess they can't really, because d5 hangs. I'm going to do a slow and bad weird plan. Try to play knight a4. Probably have to precede it with bishop f6, or they have knight e4 in response. I'm going to play bishop f6 and knight a4 here, I think. Ah. Curious. Okay. I feel that helps me along a little. I don't think they should take. I think they should leave those there. I bet they play queen d6, threaten h2. This might be better. Okay, I can't play queen d2 because I can't give them the back rank. Queen c2 is strong. Ooh. This just helps my knight, though, doesn't it? Try to play a4. Let's play h3. Make sure they don't get h3. That's a useful wedge for them. Okay. I have to be careful. But I think this position's winning. I have to go faster, of course. When has that not been true? Ah, blundered it all. Nice sleep spotted. Okay. 0 for 2. God, talking during bullet, so tough. That was a cute tactic, though. Nice spot. Alright, we're going to win one. We're going to play a classical Sicilian. Nope, we're not. Never in my life will I get the openings I dream of. Okay. Gonna play a weird anti-c3 thing. This is not so good for white, I think. I can give them the isolated pawn. Okay, maybe it's okay. Because they have like queen b3 or queen a4 ideas. If I get castled though, they have an isolated pawn and not much to say for it. Maybe a6, b5, bishop b7. Please take on f7. Be oh so kind. Okay. I think their knight's just losing time. Maybe they come to a5. Threaten bishop c6. I think I want to take. If rook e7, I'll throw in rook d8 and then take on b3. Yeah. Let's trade off their good rook. They might have some problems on the back rank, though probably not. Yeah, they don't. Okay. That was a good move of theirs. Still trading off their rook. Maybe queen e6, hit b3, and make sure they don't have rook e1. Okay, let's improve. Where are you going? Hit b4. I don't know if I have any intention of actually taking the things I attack. I'm going to get my rook on the 6, just so that pawn's not loose anymore. Nope, they're not even attacking it now. Alright, the knight's pinned. Okay. Now it's winning. You can't attack my rook this turn. Okay. That makes it easier. Yeah, alright. Not hard now. Okay. 1 for 3. A glorious victory. Oops. Misclick. Alright. We've gotten a ridiculous exchange French. Just the worst version of it. Yeah, bishop g4 is very good. I'll play queen c2 to try to get out of the pin. Okay, we'll just take it and plop knights in. But is it good? No, because their bishop can challenge my good knight, while my bishop cannot challenge their knight on e4. So I'm going to try to trade my bishop for their knight. I failed. But we'll pretend we have a stone wall. What are you going to do? Okay, not for long. Fair enough. G6. Okay. Try to swap everything. Interesting. It is pinned, though. But I have trouble making moves. Maybe I'll expand on the queen side. Still pinned. Queen g3 maybe coming. Okay. Okay. Why did I take? They can take b2. I don't know. Okay. Let's evict the queen if possible. Nope, can't block. Ugh. Did I make myself? No, not quite. I tried, though. Certainly tried. I have to speed up and play better. Both difficult. Okay, let's not hang anything. Maybe h4 will blow them open at some point? Not sure. Alright, they have no entry squares with their queen. I am slightly better in this endgame, but it shouldn't be anything. Because their king is no entry. But my king is no entry. So what am I talking about? Who knows? My pawns are a little better. Their pawns can never move, so I'm gonna slowly bring the king over. Ah, too slow. Ah! Trivial win, too. Probably should have thrown in more queen checks just from the clock situation. Alright, 2 for 4. Or 1 for 4, 1 for 4. Let's not flatter ourselves. Okay. Simple chess, simple chess. Been playing too slow. So just make it easier for myself. This position feels like I should be a little better, but it's a little hard to activate my light squared bishop. So I think it's pretty balanced. They're making good moves. I try to centralize my king. Hopefully I don't hang anything on b7. Okay, defend it. Yeah, they're clearly outplaying me here. Knight takes. Try to play bishop c6. Okay, can still play bishop c6. No need to take this knight on d6. It's not actually hitting anything, as long as I'm careful. Maybe knight b7. Stop knight a5 and hit c5. Try to bring my king to d5. That seems good. Maybe hint to d4 or knight c5. Probably knight c5. Right, should be better now. Oops. Should be worse now. This clock situation. One of my many problems. Yeah. Alright, 1 for 5. Kind of a disaster. Let's keep going. I'd like to win a game. I really don't know how the John Bartholomew's and whatever of the world. Like, you watch like Andrew Tang play Bullet, and obviously Andrew Tang is just this tremendous Bullet player, but to maintain his, tremendous Bullet results, he doesn't really talk while playing. And that's fine. But the players who do talk while playing are just so tremendously impressive. I'm going to try to play knight d5. Now I can pile up against d6. Like, it's such an absurd skill. Like, how do you play such, high-level chess? Knight f6 is sometimes in the air. Not sure what weakness I'm currently going for, but I feel like there's a weakness to target here. Just keep an eye on d6. Maybe e6 will prove weak. I haven't found the proper plan, clearly. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. Besides getting really pushed back. Knight h3, king f1. Ugh. Let's give my king a little breathing room. Oh, this was so good out of the opening. Okay, that's pinned. Alright. Let's play the simple way. Oops. Alright, I can do a ladder. Okay. 2 for 6? 2 for 6? Can we get a 2 for 6? Alright, gonna play till I make it back to 2550 or lose another game. Because that way I can't tilt too hard, because I can't blow my rating too much, but also give a chance to go on a run. This is not the right attitude, but at least it's not completely chasing my losses, though it is kind of... can we get a classical Sicilian? No, of course not. Never will. Cool. H6 is probably the right way to go for this for them. Yeah, this isn't a pawn sack, because bishop d4, cd4, knight takes b5, queen a5 check. Okay, take. B threaten a3. I don't think they should have, given me this. Certainly not. I can still take this way. My bishop's pretty good. And king f8 should cover everything. f5, I expect. A little hard to get my pieces into the game. Alright, threatened bishop takes g4. I have to take that. Yeah. Okay, well that's a stopping point. Alright. So here, I should have played bishop d4 and knight f8. Instead, I worked myself into problems. Nope, we're gonna do the psychologically terrible thing to do and chase our losses on what, like 2 for 8, give or take. All right. I'm gonna play in English. It's gonna go well. Exchange QGD. Try to play bishop g5. Try to play bishop d3 and queen c2. Control the light diagonal. c2 to b1 to h7. Play h3. Knight e2 and castle queenside. And then I will play g4 and knight g3. King b1 is a useful move to include. They don't yet threaten b4 because I have knight a4. Now my knight can return to e2 if needed. I just hung a bishop. What am I doing? I was too concentrated on, like, here's what I'm supposed to do, and just, like, hang everything. Let's play knight e2. Threaten queen takes c6. They'll play knight c4, though. Yeah, now they can take an f5 and then e3. This is, of course, a huge disaster in every way. Let's take a pawn while we can. But this is very resignable and very tilty. Okay, let's take more pawns. Gotta take something. Bring my queen to a4, a knight to c3. Try not to hang mate. Okay, good call. Well played. I should probably just resign this one. Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna keep chasing our losses. That was horrible. Of course, after knight d7 should trade bishops. Okay. Played this gambit a few times. Okay, that's not the gambit line. Chase their knight around a bit. Try to double their pawns. I think the c pawns are pretty bad when doubled. Here. Yeah. Because I can get castled, so they don't have time for bishop a3, which would be quite annoying. Maybe d6 and c5, just play against the bishop. And then bishop e6, they don't have a piece they can plonk into d5. Alright, I want to make sure I don't lose that pawn. So this should keep it all under control. Yes, rook b8. Maybe rook b6, try to improve my pawns if they take. I'd like to play knight d7 to e5, and now I have the chance. Okay. I'm on c4. They can play bishop d5. I'm going to pretend my knight's better than their bishop. Try to play b5. They don't really have a good way for their bishop to fight my knights. Not fair. Yeah. That'll show me. Alright, try to play queen a1. They should have taken the other way, I think. Yeah, still terrible for me. Fair enough. What do I even do? Try to play knight takes e4? Yeah, just awful. And I'm dead on time. I got a pawn. Yeah. Alright, well, have I blown? Alright, we're going to try to blow full 50 points this video. That's what you come here for. So again, people like John Bartholomew that just, like, play good bullet. And, like, of course he'd play better bullet if he wasn't, I think Rook e1's unnecessary. I'm not really looking to trade their bishop. But I think people who are capable of maintaining just this really high level, you know, and of course Andrew Tang could do that, like, but Andrew Tang is aiming for higher rating heights and therefore chooses not to. But they can take an e7 and then b7. Am I threatening c6? I'm not sure. I think so. If I take, I open up on their queen. Maybe d5. Why d5? I don't know. Just loses a pawn. I need to stop lying. That is the lesson. Alright, they should take my bishop. If I'm just down a piece. But they don't even have to. No, they're just getting more. Fair enough. They can move the rook. And e6 is still covered. But they're a little low on time, so I'm going to play this one out. My moves make no sense. They accomplish nothing. Yeah, good move. Alright. I'm not pinned. Yeah. Okay. I have a check. They responded quite nicely, of course. Give my king breathing room. A check. Yeah, clearly deserved that one. What a horror show. My opponent played nicely, I thought. I mean, obviously they deserved to win this one, but I thought they played a nice game. Did a nice job crushing on the queen side, won all my pawns in the center, found fancy things to do whenever I hung material, which was early and often. Alright. Should be about equal. Because, you know, the goal as white is to equalize out of the opening. Where's your bishop going now? To d5. Reasonable. But I do give you an isolated pawn. Maybe to c4. Then rook e1. Okay. Kind of like bishop h3, because they don't have e5. Still on e6. I always have b4 if I want to drive the knight away. Yeah, I do. Because bishop e6 is a huge threat with their queen on d7. I do not think they should have brought the queen to d7. Yeah. Hey, we won one. Alright, let's give a rematch. Go for a BOGO if given the chance. Not given the chance. So we'll just play very Queen's Gambit decline moves. Script on c4, see what happens. And let's play knight c6. And rook b8, bishop d7, and go for b5. Just do something odd. Is knight b4 any good? Probably not. Let's play it anyway. Where's the queen going? c5? They have lots of tempo if they want it with e4, but they still have to deal with their central pawns. And gotta worry about knight g5 because I can hang mate. c4 is a nice outpost if I can get there. I can. Maybe bishop c6. Ooh, probably want to keep... No, don't need the pawn. Probably did need the pawn. Maybe knight b6 to a4. Why, though? Don't know. Seems reasonable. Now their knight has trouble getting out. Is this not a blunder? Threatening rook d4. Gotta play faster. Threatening knight f3 and knight f1. Knight f3 is pretty good, though. Yeah. That's a queen. Alright, hopefully you can close this one out. They can play rook takes, yeah. Okay. Luckily, they gave me mate. But I had knight e3 and queen g4. Alright. Gaining a little back. Let's play knight f3, e3, and c4. Yeah, can't click bishop e2. The greatest challenge in chess is clicking. Yeah, my pieces are a little odd. I'm going to try to play d5. Okay, not here. Keep the pawns. Still want d5, though. e5, I think I'll play f3. Probably gave them this too easily. Because my knight really wants the e2 square. Let's try knight e4. It's not good, but it's not... Well, yeah, it's pretty bad. But it makes the game a little simpler to play. I could get to make some active moves now. Think about taking on f6. Which I am threatening, actually. I think I'll just take on b7. That gives them rook f8, though. Maybe I'll just play rook f1? Yeah, I'll just play rook f1, because I don't see how they get out of the perpetual while keeping control of all the squares. Yeah, so now I threaten rook h7, so I get to keep my queen on a good square. I threaten queen g8. Threaten queen h6. Queen g8. Yeah. Alright. Opposite bishops are good for attacking. I think we have recovered to where my rating was when I said I would quit after I lost my next game. What a lie that was. Alright. Sticking with the English because I can play it the fastest. A6 this early is a little weird, but gonna play natural developing moves. Try to stick a knight on e5. Give them the backward pawn. We can trade that bishop off, that's fine. And threaten knight b6 or knight c5. And let's make sure they can't get rid of my bishop. Okay. I'm going to play rook c2 and rook c1. And just build against c6. Ooh! Okay. I think this was nicely played by them. But c6 is a little tricky to defend. Let's come back to c5. It's a position I feel I can poke and prod for a while. Thinking about knight b6 takes d5, depending on where they put their queen. Ah, they can put their queen on c7. Ah, we've blown it again. Alright. Well, let's avoid resigning for the moment. But, just totally busted now. Alright, let's try to keep my queen on. Okay, can't. Fair enough. Alright, if all the pawns are traded, it's a draw. I'm going to try to get to the yeah. They played that well. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, aside the whole hanging a knight thing, because I didn't realize they could set up mate, I think I like how I played that game. But, you know, hanging a piece is not what we try to do. Right, let's fight against them getting the whole knight on e5, Pillsbury's knight. Okay, they may have accomplished it, but we do have things we can undermine now. And they're not going for it. That's interesting. Alright, gonna look to... I guess I'll try to play on the b file. That seems a weird way of doing things. Probably just a bad way. Where's my knight go? Maybe take, bring the other knight to d5. They can win a pawn. But I take e3, actually, if they play bishop a5. So that's fine. Not sure what the eval is here. Gonna try to dominate the b file. I think that's worth the a pawn. Opposite bishops. Bishop h4. Try to sneak in behind. Okay, maybe... I don't know. Gotta play faster, though. Yeah, no idea. We're gonna sort of build for rook h8. Alright, well, it's now winning on the board, but... too slow. I should really stop. This is all gone so badly. But last game in the exchange went very well until it all didn't. Hit b7. Okay, I'll consider this a free-ish tempo. Let's try to get Pillsbury's knight. Probably take on c6 and then d6 and then knight a4 to c5. Yeah, I shouldn't have given them this. Definitely shouldn't have given them this. Yeah, just lost a pawn. Alright, and playing too slow, as always. Try to play e4, maybe? Not sure. Just try to cut off their defense of the pawn, so they can take this, but maybe I come into d6 now. I think queen g5 was a pretty big mistake from them. I should have been a lot worse, and now I'm kind of okay. Okay, keep everything under control. b4. I'm so slow. What's happened to the clock? Alright. Probably going to hang mate in a turn. Let's not do that. Maybe that'll give me a draw. It didn't. slow. Ah, gotta be faster. I mean, I'm not claiming this position isn't horribly lost. Yeah. Okay. Just so slow. I realize so slow is an easy excuse to make in Bullet, and is often a way of kind of not admitting you're making bad moves. Because oftentimes you're slow because you're in, say, difficult positions. Bishop b5 check. Oh, this is fine too. Yeah. Oh, I can get castled now. See, I'm gonna pretend this one was because I was too slow as well, but it's just because I was like just completely busted over the board. I actually have like more compensation, I think, than I deserve, just because g4 really opened their diagonal. That's cute, but doesn't it help me develop my knight? Because my knight wasn't actually good on a6. Maybe there was some cleverness to this. Yeah, because now they don't have a problem on the long diagonal. This was nice. Can they finagle it in such a way they get in bishop a3 skewering my queen? I guess not. Okay. Gotta go active. Gonna leave d5 open for my knight. Knight e3 in the air. That's a double check. I might have had a better double check, but I didn't want to spend time. Which is to say, I only saw I had it after I made my move. Gonna try to play queen c6 rather than queen d5. Come into g2. Alright. Make sure we're not back ranked, though queen d5 was better. Okay. Threaten queen a4. See if we can sneak a rook at some point. Yeah, we did. Alright. Gotta win! It's a miracle. Alright. Should really stop, but I'm gonna play till 2 a.m. Got 6 more minutes. This is chasing your losses. This is when you don't just call it quits, but keep trying to make up for the mistakes you've made. It's important to be able to identify the horrible mistakes you are making as you make them. And then do nothing about them, of course. So my whole line here is I build up against e5, and then they can force it through anyway. But I think they have to make some concessions to do so. Like they had to play queen e8 to e7, because there's a tactic if they try to play for it with rook e8. And I do get some good queenside expansion. Like my knight on c4 is a very good knight. Now my knight on e5 is a very good knight. And I can play kind of b5. I think I have some pressure. I want a pawn now. Sometimes pressure comes good. Alright, where does my knight belong? Maybe f4. Make sure they don't have h3. I threaten d5 check. Does it do anything? Unclear. Let's make sure there's nothing too annoying. I'm gonna just support things. Probably will play d5 check at some point. Maybe threaten bishop c4. Now bishop c4 is much better. They made a target. It's okay. Gotta win. Take on e6 in time not to, get crushed by queen takes h3. I do okay against the King's Indian. That is a line that I think there's a bunch of ways for white to get kind of simple, annoying pressure, and I tend to do well in those lines. Alright, let's just play for e4. Blundered queen h4. Blundered everything. Right, I'll take broken pawns. That's fine. Just don't feel like playing against a stone wall. King f2, exclam. Threatening a3 and rook e1 in some order. It's too dangerous. Does bishop g5 work? Bishop f3, bishop f6, bishop d1, bishop g7, their rook's trapped. Did it work? Might have been clever. Their bishops are so good, though. They should definitely keep their bishop. Okay. To keep my bishop controlling the rook squares. Now the bishop on a5 is trapped, too. So b4 is a big threat. Yeah, I missed it. That's not... don't go to d2 because of knight e4. Just try to force some trades. Because I can chase their rook forever because they just have less pieces. That's a sad knight. Okay, somehow that went well. I don't like playing against stone wall players. I'd like to play someone new. Alright, classical Sicilian time. Nope. I'm gonna try for a Bogo Indian. Got a Nimzo, which everyone prefers to the Bogo, except for me. Love the Bogo, hate the Nimzo. I'm gonna allow the doubled pawns. Maybe rook g8. Ooh, that's a good knight. Fair point. I think my king's gonna live on e7. I think that is the life it has chosen. My knight's gonna live on g7? Ugh. Okay, would love a queen trade. He's got a... I don't know whose terms this is. f6, knight e6. I don't know. I'm having trouble evaluating anything this game. Alright. Now it's bad. Now it's very bad. If we trade queens, I'm okay though, I think. Bishop e4. Yeah, bishop e4. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's just take. See what happens. What's the mate? That's the mate. Good call. Yeah. Nice. Well played by my opponent. I do not like the Nimzo. I think I was looking at Sokolov's book on Nimzo structures a long time ago, and when white just goes very active and like says, I don't care about my queenside pawns, I just want activity. And I think my opponent did a nice job of that. That you can get just very aggressive positions that I find very difficult to defend for black. Can I play knight b4? Probably bishop b5 check is annoying. Now though, now I kind of like my position. So I'm going to get the two bishops. And there's nothing... Okay. Way to keep a strategic advantage. Right, trying to play bishop e5. I want their pawn on e5, I think. Queen h4, hit h2 and f2. Fork. Ooh, fun finish. I found a tactic. Puzzle rush. I have a friend who every time he beats me tactically, he goes, puzzle rush, puzzle rush, puzzle rush, and it's very annoying. Alright, didn't this person crush me already? Yes, let's play e4. Okay, we're going to play a weird advance with knight. Nope, no we're not. We're going to take and play a3 and b4. And then bishop b2. Look for c4. I can just take that, right? Because you have to take back pawn. Maybe queen e4 and bishop d3 and very, I don't know, uninspired, simple chess. Knight g5, fork f7 and h7. Do I ever want to play a b5 and queen d4 check? I don't see what it does. I don't have to. Oh, they could have taken, actually. On g3, I think. Ugh. What am I doing? I'm going to try to play a queen d7 check. Or queen d7, force queens off. Because the position is excellent. As long as I have more pieces. Now I don't think they can defend pawn. I guess they had knight d6. I should be winning there, though. Okay, we're getting some back. This was supposed to be a 10-minute video, and I've gone for 47. All right, we're going to get a classical... Nope. Ooh, we got a classical Sicilian. All right, so I prepped for bishop g5 earlier today. We're out of my prep. I feel like I have good b-file pressure, though. I'm going to try to grab a pawn. And then try very hard not to get mated. They can take on d6. A lot scarier than I wanted this to be. I don't know. Right, I'm going to play bishop e6. I don't think it's best, but it also might give my king breathing room. They should play like queen c7, probably. I'm going to give them the c6 pawn if they want it. I can't even defend the rook very easily. Okay. Let's try to keep... They have rook d6. Ooh. Bad news. Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, there's probably a check somewhere that grabs the rook. Alright, well, we got my classical Sicilian, and it went bad. Alright, going to play the whole modern Jabava idea. They don't have bishop g4, so I may as well stick my knight on an active square. I bet f6, yeah. I almost threatened knight. I threatened knight b6 here. Yeah. Okay. Try to remove the defender of c6. Probably knight d2 at some point. Try to swing the knight around. If f4, I'll take on b6. Maybe bishop e6 and knight c4. Hit b6, if b5, knight a5. Should be winning. Probably without, ideally without too much trouble. Let's try to open a line for my queen. Swap things. Hit b5. I don't think they can take on c2. It feels like their king should be forked at some point. Ooh. Really close to making a really bad move. I think I'm fine here. Bishop d2 check, king b1. If rook d2, something. Let's check. Maybe bring my king to b3. Pretty safe there. Okay. Gotta speed up. Gotta speed up so much. Okay, wow, that was been a rough run. Alright, you know how I said I was going to stop at 2? That was also false. Should have been streaming this if I was going to play this long. Okay. Alright, if we drop below 2500 or break 2520, have to stop. Just gotta set it somewhere. Alright, we did well in this anti-kid line, so let's return to it. Assume they'll play e5. Trade off one pair of knights. Why? I can't say. Maybe knight d5. c7. Always check, it might be mate. I have the 2 bishops. I have a little pressure on b7. I have the file. And I don't love my position. Why not? I don't know. Now I like it a lot more. This looks cramping. Queen a6, bishop b5 maybe? Maybe gonna try to bring my bishop to h4. Okay. Queen takes c7, I should have played. Hit f8. Gotta speed up. But the position's, like, wonderful. Why'd I do that? I can't tell you. I guess queen e8 forces queens off, and then I have a... Okay. Okay. Oops, didn't mean to click that. Go back. If they wanted a rematch, I meant to give it. Where are we at? No, they're gone. Oops. Alright, 2520 or 2500. I think suck-out does very well against me. Play, well known to be a bad move. I'm supposed to play c6 first. But I like this knight h5 idea. And then g6 and f5, and you play against e4. And they don't have f3 because of queen takes e3. Sure, they got there eventually. How do I move my pieces, though? Okay, they're very slowly building up to something, but I have no idea what. Why this moment? Why not another moment? Can't tell you. But now try to swap everything. Let's not give them a check on d5. I'm worse. Don't get it? Think I'm not worse anymore? Amazingly, they still only have one check. Alright, let's retrieve the bishop. Try to play queen d5 maybe? Okay, queen e6. Maybe h5, h4. Because that seems annoying for them. They agree. Maybe knight f5. Get rid of their knight, because after that their king is very much in the open. Why'd I do queen? I don't know. Okay. Do you ever not understand your own play? Alright, I'm just going to go in these pawns to make sure I can't blow this. I tried though. Alright, we got 0.34, wow. Terrible, terrible speed. Alright, I'm changing that 2520 number to 2530, because I am trying to push. Alright, the last time we played a Queen's Gambit declined exchange this video, I hung a bishop on g5 when they cleverly moved their knight. So we're going to try not to repeat that glorious moment. Okay. Boom! I've improved. So proud. Right. Look to play on the g-file. I don't think they have a threat. Now they threaten knight a3. Okay. Get out. Let's do all the taking. Say I have a big center? Oh, b4. Ooh. Blunder, because now e4 falls. I don't have a big center anymore. Ooh, clever. Clever. ba3, ba3, rook a3. Huh. I might survive this. Ooh. Fancy pants. Alright, I sack for whatever pawn you push. Let's just block the pawns. Threaten rook b2. Force them to take stuff. I think I'm okay now. Probably better. Yeah, I have so many pawns. Let's not give them anything. I can't defend it, but I have mate. Oops. Rook d7 probably was better. Okay. Okay. We got there. Can we get a classical Sicilian to close it out? Nope. Never will I ever face an open Sicilian player. Ever again. I'm going to play e5. I always play this. I always do badly. I have this thing about these closed structures. Do we have comp for the pawn? No. But can we pretend it's some kind of like Benko, except for some reason I have a pawn on e5, making it all not work? Certainly. Because that is what's happening. Play c4, maybe knight c5, knight comes in. d3 or b3. Maybe bishop h6 at some point is the way to activate the bishop. Okay, maybe not. I should have played rook b3 maybe. think the bishop's a little better here. It can swing out to d8 sometimes and b6. h5, g5. Their knight's good, though. Maybe my knight's good. Whose knight's better? Alright, gonna make sure I have a g5 defended. Oops. I guess I want the rook. I'm gonna make sure I have g5 defended. Then I'll play bishop f8 if given the chance, and then rook b8. I don't see how they break through. Do I have c3? Still pinned. I am pinned as well. It is true. Okay. Everything looks defended to me. Alright, now I think I want to play queen c5, threaten like sort of queen f2 g1, though I don't actually have it. Okay. I just gotta go fast. What am I doing? Oops. Want to take on h6. Let's go. Oh, I'm so slow. I'm so slow. Alright. We're actually going to end the video. If I break 2530 or fall under 2520, the video is over. No matter what. Let's play knight f6 and a kind of Grunfeld. Endgames forever. Endgames for life. It's much harder to blow endgames. b3, knight e4. It's not much harder to blow endgames. I just feel at the moment like my endgame prowess is mildly less embarrassing than my middle game prowess. What's my knight doing there? No one knows. Knight c5, very good. What is this? It's the ideal pawn structure, haven't you heard? Knight c5 and then f4 are a pretty strong idea. Okay. Nah, that was a good move. As was that. Very bad position for me. We don't even want the pawn. We don't even want that pawn. The rook entering is this good? I'm confused. I feel like they just were very generous to me. Probably should throw in, okay. Knight d6. Nope. They have continued with the principle of kindness. On e2. Okay, let's not give them that. Oh, knight c3. King c5, I'm on their rook. Okay. Accidentally didn't blunder everything, but I tried. Try to set up a mating net. They can't queen. Ah, too slow. Okay, I fell under 2520, so I will end the video. It was a long run. Pretty bad run. I should check what happened in the one game I did get a closed Sicilian. The main move in that game, they played f4, was queen d2. And I should know what to do against that. Yeah. So the main move here is queen d2. As you can see via the database, queen d2. f4. Queen b6. That makes a lot of sense. The knight's loose and b2 is loose. I think I did cover this when looking at this earlier today. It's knight b3, queen d3 check. Yeah. It's like pretty close to equal. Yep. Okay. I autopiloted rook c8. And then after knight c6, Unclear how I should take back. Queen d2. I thought I had b-file play, but I should play queen b6 if I have b-file play. That makes sense. Alright, all very suspicious. Good night to me.